Casio G-Shock GD5009JR. Casio's most expensive watch ever produced is the G-Shock GD5000-9JR, released in 2019 to commemorate the 35th anniversary of the G-Shock line. This model is a radical departure from Casio's usual approach, as it is constructed almost entirely from solid 18-karat yellow gold. The case, bezel, bracelet, case back, and even the screws are all made from gold, transforming what is normally a rugged, affordable tool watch into a full-scale luxury timepiece. Despite the extravagant materials, the GD5000-9JR retains all of the core features that define a true G-Shock. It remains shock-resistant, water-resistant to 200 meters, solar-powered, and equipped with multi-band 6 radio-controlled timekeeping. This means the watch automatically synchronizes with atomic time signals to maintain extreme accuracy, making it functionally identical to a standard high-end G-Shock despite its luxury execution. Production was limited to just 35 units worldwide, a deliberate reference to the anniversary it was created to celebrate. This extreme scarcity has caused the watch to appreciate significantly on the secondary market, with examples now selling well above their original retail price. The GD5000-9JR stands as a statement piece, proving that Casio can combine industrial toughness with precious materials without sacrificing functionality. Original retail price $69,500. Timex Giorgio Galli S2 Ti. Timex is not a brand traditionally associated with high-priced watches, which makes its most expensive release especially notable. The Giorgio Galli S2 Ti represents Timex's clearest move toward the luxury and enthusiast segment. This model was released in early 2025 and is named after Timex's chief creative director, Giorgio Galli, marking what is believed to be the final and most refined version of the S2 series. The S2 Ti features a titanium case reinforced with carbon composite material, giving the watch a lightweight yet rigid structure. The bracelet is also made from titanium, and the dial itself is titanium as well, creating a consistent material theme throughout the watch. Titanium is prized in watchmaking for its strength, corrosion resistance, and comfort on the wrist, especially compared to heavier precious metals. Original retail price $1,950. Richard Mille RM56-02 Sapphire Tourbillon. Richard Mille is one of the most expensive watch manufacturers in the world by default, so identifying its most expensive production watch comes down to original retail price rather than auction results. The RM56-02 Sapphire Tourbillon stands as the highest MSRP Richard Mille ever offered as a standard production model, even though it was produced in extremely small numbers. What makes this watch extraordinary is its case construction. The entire case is made from solid sapphire crystal, a material that is exceptionally difficult to machine due to its hardness and brittleness. Producing a single sapphire case can take over 1,000 hours of machining, with a high failure rate along the way. Many of the movement components themselves are also made from sapphire, reinforcing Richard Mille's goal of total transparency. The watch features a tourbillon, one of the most complex complications in watchmaking, designed to counteract the effects of gravity on timekeeping accuracy. Only 10 examples of the RM56-02 were produced, making it both technically extreme and exceptionally rare. Since its release, examples have sold for far more on the secondary market, but this watch already sat at the top of Richard Mille's pricing structure at launch. Original retail price $2.2 million. Patek Philippe Grandmaster Chime. Reference 5175. The most expensive production watch ever created by Patek Philippe is the Grandmaster Chime reference 5175, originally released to celebrate the brand's 175th anniversary. This watch represents the absolute peak of traditional Swiss watchmaking and is widely regarded as one of the most complex wristwatches ever made. The Grandmaster Chime features a reversible case with 2 fully functional dials, allowing the wearer to access different complications depending on which side is facing outward. In total, the watch contains 20 complications, including a grand sonnerie, petite sonnerie, minute repeater, perpetual calendar, second time zone, alarm with time display, and a date repeater that audibly chimes the date on demand. These acoustic complications are among the most difficult to engineer and assemble in all of watchmaking. The case is made from solid rose gold and is entirely hand-engraved, a process that requires thousands of hours of skilled manual labor. Inside the case is a movement composed of 1,366 individual components, all finished to Patek Philippe's highest standards. The complexity of the watch is such that it reportedly takes close to 100,000 hours to develop and manufacture a single example. Only a handful of Grandmaster chimes were produced, making it not only technically extraordinary, but also extremely rare. Original retail price, $2.6 million. Audemars Piguet code, 11.59, Grand Sonnerie Carillon Super Sonnerie. Determining the most expensive production watch from Audemars Piguet is complicated because the brand has created multiple ultra-high-end models, including charity auction pieces and unique commissions. Focusing strictly on production watches with an official retail price, the code 11.59 Grand Sonnerie Carillon Super Sonnerie sits at the very top of Audemars Piguet's catalog. This watch is centered around acoustic complications, which are among the most demanding to execute in mechanical watchmaking. A Grand Sonnerie automatically strikes the hours and quarters, a Petite Sonnerie strikes the hours and quarters on demand, and a minute repeater chimes the time when activated. Audemars Piguet's Super Sonnerie technology was developed to dramatically improve sound clarity and volume by isolating the gongs from the movement and using the case as a resonance chamber. The watch is housed in a precious metal case and powered by a hand-wound movement that requires years of development and extremely specialized assembly. Each example takes multiple watchmakers working in sequence, as no single individual is capable of assembling the entire movement alone. Production numbers are extremely low, and availability is limited to the brand's most important collectors. This model represents Audemars Piguet's highest expression of traditional complication-driven watchmaking, rather than gem-setting or aesthetic extravagance. Original retail price, approximately $400,000. Vacheron Constantin Tour de Lille. Vacheron Constantin's most expensive production wristwatch is the Tour de Lille, introduced in 2005 to commemorate the brand's 250th anniversary. This watch was created as a celebration of Vacheron's technical history and stands as one of the most complex wristwatches ever offered as a production model by the brand. The Tour de Lille features a double-sided case with one dial dedicated to timekeeping and astronomical functions, and the other displaying a perpetual calendar, moon phase, and additional complications. In total, the watch contains 16 complications, including a tourbillon, minute repeater, perpetual calendar, sunrise and sunset times, equation of time, and a celestial chart customized to the owner's location. The movement is entirely hand-finished and composed of hundreds of individual components, each assembled and adjusted by master watchmakers. The case is crafted from precious metal and requires exceptional precision to accommodate the dual-dial architecture and acoustic components. Only 7 examples of the Tour de Lille were produced, making it one of the rarest high-complication wristwatches ever sold by a major Swiss manufacturer. This watch represents the highest level of Vacheron's traditional watchmaking capabilities. Original retail price, over $1 million. Franck Muller, Eternatus Mega 4. Franck Muller's most expensive production watch is the Eternatus Mega 4, a timepiece designed with a single goal in mind: maximum mechanical complexity. When it was released, this watch was recognized as the most complicated wristwatch ever made, a title earned through both engineering ambition and sheer scale. The Eternatus Mega 4 contains 36 complications, including a Grand Sonnerie, Petite Sonnerie, minute repeater, perpetual calendar, split seconds chronograph tourbillon, alarm, equation of time, and multiple calendar and astronomical indications. These complications are spread across a massive case to ensure readability and mechanical reliability, as combining this many functions into a wearable wristwatch is an extraordinary challenge. Inside the case is a movement made up of 1,483 components and 99 jewels, all assembled and adjusted by hand. The complexity of the movement requires specialized watchmakers trained specifically to work on this model. Despite its extreme technical nature, the design remains relatively restrained compared to other ultra-high-end watches, prioritizing legibility over ornamentation. The Eternatus Mega 4 represents Franck Muller's defining achievement in high-complication watchmaking. Original retail price? Approximately $2.7 million. FP Journe, Tourbillon Souverain Vertical. Determining the most expensive production watch from FP Journe is difficult because the brand does not publicly emphasize pricing, and many pieces are made in very small numbers. However, based on known retail figures, the Tourbillon Souverain Vertical stands as the most expensive standard production watch offered by the brand. What sets this watch apart is the vertical orientation of its tourbillon. Traditional tourbillons are mounted horizontally, which helps counteract gravity when the watch is stationary. In a wristwatch, however, the watch spends most of its time in a vertical position while worn. By mounting the tourbillon vertically, FP Journe aimed to improve real-world timekeeping accuracy during everyday wear. The movement is crafted from solid gold, a signature of FP Journe, and is finished entirely by hand to the brand's extremely high standards. The watch maintains a restrained, classical design that emphasizes technical achievement rather than visual excess. This model is significant not only because of its price, but because it represents a rare example of a modern manufacturer meaningfully improving one of watchmaking's most traditional complications. Original retail price? Approximately $300,000. Girard-Perregaux, La Esmeralda Tourbillon, a Secret Eternity Edition. The most expensive production watch created by Girard-Perregaux is the La Esmeralda Tourbillon, a Secret Eternity Edition, a modern reinterpretation of the brand's legendary 19th century La Esmeralda pocket watch. This model exists as a tribute to Girard-Perregaux's historic role in the development of the tourbillon and its iconic three-bridge architecture. The watch features the brand's signature three gold bridges, a design originally patented in the 1800s and now considered one of the most recognizable movements in watchmaking. The case is made from 18-karat white gold and measures 43 millimeters, providing enough space to showcase the movement's architectural layout. The dial and movement are decorated with extensive hand engraving and grand fou enamel work, both of which require repeated high-temperature firings and meticulous manual finishing. On the back of the movement, two hand-engraved galloping horses are visible, referencing the decoration of the original La Esmeralda pocket watch. These engravings are executed entirely by hand, making each example slightly unique. The Tourbillon, a Secret Eternity Edition, represents Girard-Perregaux's highest expression of traditional craftsmanship, historical continuity, and mechanical complexity. Original retail price: $530,000. Greubel Forsey Art Piece 1. Greubel Forsey is a brand known for producing extremely small quantities of highly complex hand-finished watches, many of which already sit well above $500,000. While several of their models approach or exceed the $1 million mark, the most expensive watch the brand has ever produced is the Art Piece 1. What makes the Art Piece 1 unique is not just its mechanical complexity, but the way it integrates microscopic art into a functional wristwatch. The watch contains a hand-sculpted micro artwork created by British artist Willard Wigan, whose sculptures are so small they can only be seen through a microscope. Mechanically, the watch still features Greubel Forsey's signature high-end movement architecture, including a tourbillon and extreme hand finishing throughout. The case and movement are constructed to the same obsessive standards as the brand's other watches, but the inclusion of a unique microscopic artwork elevates this piece beyond traditional horology. The art piece one blurs the line between watchmaking, fine art, and conceptual design, making it one of the most unconventional luxury watches ever produced. Original retail price, approximately $2 million. MB&F Sapphire Vision. MB&F approaches watchmaking differently than traditional brands, referring to its creations as horological machines rather than watches. The most expensive watch produced by MB&F is the HM9-SV Sapphire Vision, a model that pushes both design and mechanical engineering far beyond conventional norms. The HM9SV features a fully sapphire case shaped to resemble a jet engine, a design inspired by mid-century aircraft and automotive forms. Sapphire is extremely difficult to machine, and creating a case with this level of curvature and transparency requires hundreds of hours of precision work. Inside the case is a fully in-house movement that MB&F refers to as an engine, complete with differential-style gearing used to average the rates of the balance wheels. The movement is built around a central differential system that combines energy from two separate balance wheels to improve stability and accuracy. The entire mechanism is displayed openly through the sapphire case, emphasizing MB&F's focus on visual mechanics and engineering theatrics. While the watch is not designed for everyday wearability, it represents MB&F's most ambitious and expensive exploration of mechanical design. Original retail price, approximately $500,000. Breguet Classique Double Tourbillon 5349. Breguet's most expensive production watch is the Classique Double Tourbillon 5349, a model that showcases the brand's historic focus on complex mechanical innovation, combined with decorative craftsmanship. This watch is built around a double tourbillon system, meaning it contains two independent tourbillons, working together to improve chronometric stability and visual symmetry. The case is crafted from platinum and heavily set with diamonds, extending across the case, lugs, crown, and clasp. While the gem setting contributes significantly to the price, the technical heart of the watch remains the primary focus. The dial features traditional guilloche engraving and enamel work, both hallmarks of Breguet's classical aesthetic language, that traces back to Abraham Louis Breguet himself. On the back of the watch, the movement is decorated with hand engraving and space-themed imagery, reinforcing the idea that this is as much a decorative object as it is a mechanical one. The double tourbillon mechanism adds complexity not only in construction, but also in regulation, as both systems must operate in harmony. This model represents Breguet's most extreme combination of traditional high horology, gem setting, and mechanical spectacle. Original retail price, approximately $850,000. Blancpain 1735, Grand Complication. Blancpain's most expensive production watch is the 1735 Grand Complication, a timepiece introduced in 1991 that fundamentally changed modern high-complication watchmaking. At the time of its release, it was one of the most complex wristwatches ever created and helped establish the template for modern grand complications. The 1735 combines a tourbillon minute repeater, perpetual calendar, and split-seconds chronograph within a single wristwatch. Prior to this model, watches with this level of complication were typically large pocket watches or desk clocks due to the sheer size and mechanical demands of the mechanisms involved. Blancpain succeeded in miniaturizing these functions into a wearable wristwatch without sacrificing reliability. The case is made from platinum, and only 30 examples of the 1735 were produced, making it exceptionally rare. The movement required years of development and assembly by highly specialized watchmakers. The influence of the 1735 can be seen in later grand complications, from brands such as Patek Philippe, Vacheron Constantin, and Audemars Piguet. This watch stands as one of the most important technical achievements in Blancpain's history. Original retail price, approximately $800,000. Jaeger-LeCoultre Hybris Mechanica Grand Sonnerie. Jaeger-LeCoultre's most expensive production watch is the Hybris Mechanica Grand Sonnerie, a timepiece that demonstrates the brand's reputation as the watchmaker's watchmaker. This watch represents one of the most ambitious mechanical projects ever undertaken by the manufacturer. The watch is built around an extremely rare Grand Sonnerie mechanism, meaning it automatically chimes the hours and quarters, in addition to offering a petite sonnerie and a minute repeater on demand. What makes this model especially remarkable is its ability to reproduce the full Westminster chime sequence, the same four-note melody used by Big Ben, adapted into a wristwatch format. Achieving this level of acoustic complexity in such a small space requires exceptional engineering and tuning. In total, the Hybris Mechanica Grand Sonnerie contains 26 complications and more than 1,300 individual components. The movement is entirely hand-assembled and finished, with multiple patented innovations developed specifically to manage energy distribution, sound quality, and mechanical reliability. Production numbers are extremely limited, and the watch exists primarily as a technical showcase rather than a commercial product. It stands as one of the most complex wristwatches ever made by Jaeger-LeCoultre. Original retail price? Approximately $2.5 million. H. Moser Endeavor Concept Minute Repeater Tourbillon. H. Moser & Cie's most expensive production watch is the Endeavor Concept Minute Repeater Tourbillon, a timepiece that combines extreme mechanical complexity with the brand's signature minimalist philosophy. Rather than displaying its complications openly, this watch deliberately hides its technical depth behind a clean, logo-free dial. The watch pairs two of the most difficult complications in watchmaking: a flying tourbillon and a minute repeater. A minute repeater audibly chimes the time on demand using internal gongs and hammers, a system that requires precise tuning to ensure clarity, volume, and tonal balance. Moser engineered this model with a strong focus on acoustic performance, optimizing the case construction and materials specifically to enhance sound quality. Visually, the watch avoids clutter entirely. There are no logos, no subdials, and no visual indicators of the repeater mechanism. This design choice reinforces Moser's philosophy that true luxury lies in restraint and mechanical substance, rather than decoration. The tourbillon is integrated subtly into the dial, maintaining symmetry while still delivering technical significance. This model represents Moser's highest level of watchmaking, proving that extreme complexity does not require visual excess. Original retail price? Approximately $365,000. Jacob & Co. Astronomia Solar Baguette. Jacob's most expensive production watch is the Astronomia Solar Baguette, a model that embodies the brand's reputation for extreme visual spectacle and mechanical theatrics. While the brand has produced unique, one-off watches priced far higher, this watch represents the most expensive regularly produced model available to collectors. The Astronomia Solar Baguette is built around a triple-axis tourbillon, a complication in which the regulating organ rotates on three separate axes to counteract gravitational errors from multiple directions. The movement is designed to resemble a miniature solar system, with rotating elements that represent celestial bodies orbiting around the center of the watch. One of these elements is a faceted diamond representing the moon, while the entire mechanism completes a full rotation every 20 minutes. The case is crafted from 18-karat rose gold and fully set with hundreds of baguette-cut diamonds, dramatically increasing both visual impact and price. Despite the extreme gem setting, the movement remains the centerpiece, fully visible and constantly in motion. The Astronomia Solar Baguette is less about traditional restraint and more about unapologetic mechanical showmanship, making it one of the most recognizable and extravagant watches in modern watchmaking. Original retail price? Approximately $1.3 million. Rolex GMT Master 2 ICE. Rolex's most expensive production watch is the GMT Master 2 ICE, a model that represents the absolute upper limit of Rolex pricing, while still being a regular catalog watch rather than a one-off or auction piece. Unlike many ultra-high-end watches that rely on mechanical complexity, this model derives its price almost entirely from materials and gem setting. The case and bracelet are made from solid 18-karat white gold and are fully set with diamonds, including the lugs, crown guards, and center bracelet links. The dial is also diamond set, and the bezel features a continuous row of baguette-cut diamonds. Beneath the gemstones, the watch remains mechanically identical to a standard GMT Master II, using Rolex's in-house automatic movement with a second time zone function and chronometer certification. This watch marks a clear shift from tool watch utility to luxury jewelry. While it retains Rolex's hallmark reliability and durability, its purpose is no longer practical travel use, but visual impact and exclusivity. The GMT Master II ICE illustrates Rolex's conservative approach to high pricing, prioritizing gem setting and precious metals, rather than introducing new complications or experimental mechanics. Original retail price, $485,350. Omega Speedmaster Chrono Chime. Omega's most expensive production watch is the Speedmaster Chrono Chime, a timepiece that represents the most technically advanced mechanical watch the brand has ever created. Unlike Omega's traditional focus on robustness and industrial precision, this model is centered on acoustic complexity and high complication watchmaking. The Chrono Chime combines two of the most difficult complications to integrate into a wristwatch: a chronograph and a minute repeater. What makes this watch especially rare is that the repeater is designed to chime elapsed chronograph time in addition to standard timekeeping. This means the watch can audibly strike both the hours and the measured intervals of the chronograph, requiring an exceptionally complex movement architecture. Original retail price, $553,600. Cartier Rotonde de Cartier, Mysterious Double Tourbillon. Cartier's most expensive production watch is the Rotonde de Cartier Mysterious Double Tourbillon, a timepiece that showcases the brand's highest level of mechanical innovation, rather than its more widely known jewelry heritage. This watch belongs to Cartier's fine watchmaking collection, where the brand focuses on technical creativity and unconventional movement architecture. The watch is housed in a platinum case and finished with Cartier's signature classical proportions and Roman numeral design language. The movement is fully in-house and extensively hand-finished, requiring extreme precision to maintain stability, despite the unusual mounting system. This model demonstrates Cartier's ability to blend visual magic with legitimate haute horology, standing as the brand's most technically ambitious production watch. Original retail price, approximately $1.2 million. IWC Portugueser Sideral Scafúzia. IWC's most expensive production watch is the Portugueser Sideral Scafúzia, a timepiece that merges traditional haute horology with advanced astronomical complications. Unlike many ultra-expensive watches that focus on repetition or acoustic mechanisms, this model is centered on celestial tracking and personalized astronomical data. The watch features a constant force tourbillon combined with a sidereal time display, which measures time based on Earth's rotation relative to distant stars rather than the Sun. Sidereal time is primarily used in astronomy, making this complication highly specialized and rarely found in wristwatches. In addition to sidereal time, the watch includes a perpetual calendar and a customized celestial chart on the caseback. Each example is made to order, with the celestial chart engraved according to the owner's specific geographic coordinates, ensuring that no two watches are identical. The movement is entirely hand-assembled and adjusted, and the case is crafted from precious metal. Original retail price, approximately $750,000. Zenith Academy Christophe Colomb Hurricane Grand Voyage. Zenith's most expensive production watch is the Academy Christophe Colomb Hurricane Grand Voyage, a timepiece designed to showcase the brand's most ambitious chronometric innovation. This watch builds on Zenith's patented gyroscopic regulating system, which was developed to improve timekeeping accuracy by maintaining the escapement in a constant horizontal position. At the heart of the watch is a gravity control mechanism that suspends the escapement and balance wheel inside a gimbal system. As the watch moves on the wrist, this system automatically rotates to keep the regulating organ level, reducing positional errors caused by gravity. Power is delivered through a chain and fusee transmission, which ensures constant force to the escapement as the mainspring unwinds, further improving stability and precision. The dial and case are richly decorated, with extensive hand engraving and an elaborate depiction of Christopher Columbus's voyage, reinforcing the watch's navigational theme. The movement is visible through the caseback, revealing the complex architecture required to support the gyroscopic system. This model represents Zenith's highest expression of technical experimentation and traditional craftsmanship combined. Original retail price, approximately $451,000. Piaget Altiplano Ultimate Concept. Piaget's most expensive production watch is the Altiplano Ultimate Concept, a timepiece created to push the physical limits of mechanical watchmaking. This watch holds the title of the thinnest mechanical wristwatch ever produced, measuring just 2 millimeters thick from crystal to caseback. To achieve this, Piaget completely re-engineered the traditional watch architecture. The case itself functions as the main plate of the movement, eliminating the need for a separate movement layer. Many components were redesigned or flattened, including the barrel, gear train, and balance assembly. Even the crown is recessed into the case and requires a specialized tool to adjust. The case is made from a cobalt-based alloy chosen for its strength and rigidity, as traditional precious metals would deform at such thin dimensions. Despite its extreme thinness, the watch maintains full mechanical functionality and structural integrity. The Altiplano Ultimate Concept represents Piaget's mastery of ultra-thin watchmaking and stands as one of the most technically impressive watches in modern horology. Original retail price, approximately $480,000. Hublot Big Bang Sapphire Tourbillon. Hublot's most expensive production watches are its sapphire case tourbillon models, with the Big Bang Sapphire Tourbillon sitting at the top of the brand's regular catalog. While Hublot has produced unique one-off pieces priced far higher, this model represents the most expensive watch offered as a true production release. The defining feature of this watch is its fully transparent sapphire case. Sapphire is extremely hard and difficult to machine, and shaping it into a complex watch case with curved surfaces requires hundreds of hours of precision milling and polishing. Hublot developed its own proprietary sapphire manufacturing techniques to produce cases in various colors, pushing material experimentation as the primary driver of cost. Original retail price, approximately $550,000. A. Lange und Söhne Grand Complication. A. Lange and Söhne's most expensive production watch is the Grand Complication, a timepiece created as a definitive statement of the brand's technical mastery and traditional German watchmaking philosophy. Introduced in 2013, this watch represents the most complex wristwatch ever produced by the manufacturer. The Grand Complication combines a rare collection of high-level complications, including a grand and petite sonnerie, a minute repeater, a split-seconds chronograph with flying seconds, a perpetual calendar, and a moon phase display. These functions are among the most difficult to engineer and integrate into a wristwatch, particularly when combined into a single movement. Each complication requires precise energy management to ensure reliability and accuracy. The movement is entirely hand-assembled and hand-finished. The case is made from precious metal and sized significantly larger than a typical dress watch to accommodate the mechanical complexity inside. Production was limited to just 6 examples worldwide, making the Grand Complication one of the rarest and most exclusive wristwatches ever offered by a major manufacturer. Original retail price, approximately $2.5 million. Nomos Glashütte Luxe White Gold. Nomos Glashütte's most expensive production watch is the Luxe White Gold, a timepiece that represents the highest expression of the brand's minimalist German design and in-house mechanical capability. While Nomos is known for restrained pricing and clean Bauhaus-inspired aesthetics, this model sits at the very top of its catalog. The Luxe White Gold features a solid 18-karat white gold case paired with a slim, elegant profile that emphasizes proportion and wearability. Unlike many ultra-expensive watches that rely on visual complexity, the Luxe focuses on purity of design, using a simple dial layout that highlights balance and legibility. The case shape is slightly curved to sit comfortably on the wrist, reinforcing Nomos's emphasis on everyday wear despite the luxury materials. Inside the watch is Nomos's hand-wound in-house caliber, finished with traditional Glashütte ribbing and hand-polished components. The movement offers an impressive power reserve while remaining exceptionally thin, demonstrating Nomos's technical competence beneath its minimalist exterior. The Luxe White Gold reflects Nomos's philosophy that true luxury comes from refinement, precision, and restraint, rather than complication stacking. Original retail price, $21,500. Grand Seiko Kodo Constant Force Tourbillon, SLGT 00005. Grand Seiko's most expensive production watch is the Kodo Constant Force Tourbillon, a timepiece that represents the brand's highest level of mechanical innovation and finishing. This model is significant not because of decorative excess, but because it introduces a genuinely new technical solution in modern watchmaking. The movement is entirely hand-assembled and finished to an exceptionally high standard, with visible hand beveling, polished surfaces, and precise tolerances throughout. The case is crafted from a combination of precious metals and high-strength materials, balancing durability with refinement. Production is limited to just 22 pieces, making the Kodo both technologically groundbreaking and extremely rare. This watch defines Grand Seiko's philosophy of innovation driven by precision rather than spectacle. Original retail price, $365,000. Credor Spring Drive Minute Repeater. Credor's most expensive production watch is the Spring Drive Minute Repeater, a timepiece that represents the highest level of traditional craftsmanship within the Seiko group. Credor operates as Seiko's ultra-high-end artisanal brand, focusing on precious metals, hand finishing, and low-volume production rather than mass manufacturing. Unlike traditional minute repeaters that chime hours, quarters, and minutes, this watch uses a decimal repeater system that chimes hours, 10-minute intervals, and individual minutes. The gongs are crafted from a special steel alloy forged by a master swordsmith whose family lineage spans centuries of Japanese metalworking tradition. Only a handful of these watches are produced each year, with every component finished by hand to an obsessive degree. This model represents the quiet pinnacle of Japanese haute horology. Original retail price, approximately $400,000. Gucci G Timeless Planetarium. Gucci's most expensive production watch is the G Timeless Planetarium, a timepiece that sits within the brand's high watchmaking division rather than its fashion-focused lineup. This watch represents Gucci's most ambitious attempt to compete in the world of haute horology through mechanical innovation rather than branding alone. The defining feature of the planetarium is its dancing hours flying tourbillon system. Instead of traditional hands, the time is displayed using rotating gemstone markers that orbit the dial when activated. These markers rotate both around the dial and on their own axis, creating a constantly moving planetary display that resembles an astronomical model. The tourbillon itself is suspended in a flying configuration, further emphasizing the sense of motion and mechanical theater. The case is crafted from precious metal and can be customized with different gemstones, which significantly affects the final price. Beneath the visual spectacle is a fully mechanical in-house movement developed specifically for this display architecture. The planetarium is intentionally extravagant and unconventional, designed to make a statement rather than pursue traditional restraint. This model marks Gucci's highest-priced and most technically daring production watch. Original retail price, approximately $500,000 plus.